Hello and welcome back to the Watford Way. Today as we look ahead to Leicester City versus Watford as Watford travel to the King Power Stadium in the first match after this international break. And I, for one, am delighted the international break is over. As per usual, the England matches were very, very boring. I understand from an England perspective, it's required to look at all the players available and kind of get a gauge on who's best for the England squad. However, for me, I find international football very boring aside from the major tournaments. So yeah, I'm very glad it is over. But club football has returned and there's a lot to talk about actually. So I'll get into the Watford news first. And some interesting news actually regarding Daniel Bachmann. Now, it's rumoured during the international break that Daniel Bachmann was going to be out for quite a long time with a major concussion injury that he sustained during training. There was a lot of rumours going around on Twitter. Lou Orns, who was always very reliable, come out and said the concussion was maybe much more serious than first feared, and that Daniel Bachmann could have been out for quite a prolonged period of time actually, which would have meant second choice goalkeeper Ben Hamer coming into the team and playing a lot of first team matches, which would have concerned me quite a lot because he has looked very shaky in the very few appearances he has made. But it's been confirmed, I believe, by Andrew French that Daniel Bachmann has returned to training and is available for selection against Leicester City. So good to see that Daniel Bachmann is back in good health and hopefully he'll play against Leicester City this weekend. Some other really good news to bring you as well is around Ryan Andrews, our right back who come through the Watford Academy. Probably the first proper Academy player to come through in a very, very long time. Obviously, James Morris come through as well, a young left back we have at the club. But yeah, he didn't really come through the academy from the young age ranges as per. He came in from Southampton and then made his debut at Watford, his professional debut. So Ryan Andrews, for me, is one of the best talents we've had to come through at Watford for a very, very long time. And yeah, he's signed a new contract until 2028. So Watford securing his services for the next 5 years or so, which I think is fantastic news. Ultimately, I do think he'll probably move on to bigger and better things if his trajectory continues the way it has been so far. He looks like to be a real talent, especially going forward. I think he's absolutely superb. And yeah, he just needs to work on a couple of little things in regards to maybe his defensive positioning. And yeah, going forward, maybe in the final third, a little bit more composure. But apart from that, I think he'll develop to be a really fantastic player. And is also in the England under-20s men's elite setup as well at the moment. So everything's going well for Ryan Andrews at the moment at Watford and at England as well. And yeah, fantastic that he has signed the new contract. Now, Watford versus Leicester, what do I think about this game? Well, I'll tell you what I think about Leicester. I think Leicester have the best squad in the division by far. I think the signings they made in the summer were superb. I don't think Leicester really lost any major players. I think the players who left Leicester were kind of on their way out anyway, the likes of Yuri Tielemans. And yeah, the squad they've assembled this season is unbelievable, albeit in the last couple of games, they have looked very, very shaky indeed. They lost their last two games on the bounce in the Championship, which does show Watford that they are there to be beaten. But I think with this Watford side, it's a matter of confidence. We've been on a 6-game unbeaten run, which compared to last season is a miracle, to be honest. I never thought we'd see the day where Watford go on such a long unbeaten run, but we have managed to do that. And I'd be so happy if we managed to continue it against Leicester. I think in my own personal opinion, I am expecting to lose the game. I think going forward, their players are ridiculous. Even their midfield actually is ridiculous as well. I think defensively is probably the weakest part of Leicester's team. Can Watford target that? I'm not so sure. Mileta has been on a good run of form at the moment. Matthias Martins is very dangerous. Yasser Espria is kind of coming into himself so far this season as well. So yeah, the question that I think for me is, do Watford have enough to hurt Leicester City? And I'm not quite sure we do at this current moment in time. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to win the game. I'd love to even get a draw, to be honest with you. But yeah, I can only see this going one way, really, and that's going to be a Leicester City victory. But in my heart, I'm hoping Watford can continue the unbeaten run we're currently on and make it 7 games on the trot without defeat. So we'll have to wait and see what happens in the King Power Stadium on Saturday afternoon. What is my score prediction? I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw, and I'm going to go with Yasser Espria to get the goal and Jamie Vardy to get the goal for Leicester City. Jamie Vardy always seems to score against Watford, especially when we were back in the Premier League as well. And yeah, I can see him on the score sheet again on Saturday. One more notable mention before I go as well. Hamza Chowdhury was obviously previously at Watford last season. I thought he's a very, very talented player, ball-winning midfielder. Obviously, he returned to his former club, Leicester City, this summer as his loan at Watford expired. So yeah, it'll be good to see Hamza Chowdhury back playing football, this time against Watford on Saturday afternoon. So 1-1 is my score prediction for the game. Let me know your score predictions in the comments section down below. I'll be back after the game for a full match reaction and a full match breakdown, so make sure to keep an eye out for that, and make sure to follow us on social media as well. You can find us on Twitter, you can find us on Instagram, on Facebook, and of course here on YouTube as well. It'd be very much appreciated. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel as well. It'd be very much appreciated. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye bye.